If I see a snake in the garden, that's it. I'm running away. I do not like snakes. One time I had a whole patch of strawberries, and I used to weed them and go over and pick them, and then I went over one day and there was a snake there, and I never went over it again. I usually set it up because I use the fireplace as a vocal point, and then I set my chairs around it, and then this is just kind of for looks, but it's nice to sit out here and have, iced tea or something. Oh, the birch, I like it, especially in the winter. I don't burn it. I just like to look out at it with the snow on it, because when I was a youngster, we had a fireplace in my father and mother's house. We had birch trees in the back of it, and when the snow hit them, they bent over the fireplace. So when I look at the birch logs, it reminds me of that and happy times. I just need an excuse to be outside in the good weather.
That's good.
It's like people that like to ski in the winter, it makes them go out in the cold. Well, I like to go out in the summer, and tend in a garden is a fun way to do it.
I like the gardens we have. We get a lot of vegetables out of them, and we share them with our friends in the circle. And it comes every year. Mimi does a lot of good planting. I do some weeding. One of my granddaughters does weeding. So it gets weeded twice. The preliminary like I do, and then the perfection of my granddaughter. I like the zucchini. Mimi plants zucchini and she makes zucchini bread. That's one of my favorites. All the other stuff, the beans and the other squash and everything, is all good.
Oh, I can spend probably 3 hours, because you have to deadhead flowers. I try to buy some that I don't have to deadhead. And then to water, and the more individual plants you have, the longer it takes. Yeah. I usually use a sprinkler when you can. After a while, no sprinklers, but I'll put a sprinkler on in the morning. And you never really want to water at night, because you don't want them to put them to bed with wet feet. That's the old saying. This is a pallet they use in warehouses, and somebody came up with the idea of putting these holders on here. This was given to me by the Danielson family. And then every year I can put in different colors, see what I like, see what I don't like, and it just stays there. I just like to sit and sometimes to see how fast things grow, or how tall something's gonna get, or how the colors all blend together, or just sit and enjoy it, because there's no sense of gardening if you don't enjoy it. I've learned aggressive plants, that's you have to be careful about putting those in. I have black-eyed Susans. They're very aggressive, and you just have to weed all summer long to get rid of them. I love lily of the valleys, so I put those in my garden, but they're aggressive plants, so I have to be careful and keep them under control. All right, I also have a vegetable garden. I've had it in the same spot for 39 years. I just put in vegetables that we eat. There's no sense of planting something that you don't like. A few tomatoes. I've learned not to put too many, because they all come in at once, and how many tomatoes do you eat in a week? A good location, gets the sun all day long, easy to take care of. If I'm out in the pool area and I have to weed or tie something up, I'm here, go over, spend a half an hour doing it, and it's done. But I love the smell and the look of the flowers. The vegetable garden, I put in because it's nice to go out and have fresh vegetables when you're trying to make supper or something like that. But if the groundhogs and the stuff come, it's depressing, because they eat them before you can get them. I dig with this. You can put bulbs in the fall. All of your little plants, it digs out just enough so that you can drop them in the hole. Fertilizer, Very important. And you have to fertilize every month, probably, you know, after it's in. But I always water with fertilizer in the hole before I put my flowers in. I've had to change over my garden because I have a tree here. When I first planted, the tree was little. Now it's big, so now instead of getting flowers and stuff for the sun, I have to look at it and make sure that they grow in the shade. Otherwise, I wouldn't have them. And this location's really good because I get the morning sun, then I get the afternoon sun on the other sides, and I just watch what I put in. Another thing, watering pot, super important because when you use a hose, sometimes it's too much power on your little plants.
Oh yeah, like.
Yeah, so the watering pot's good, just enough. New garden.